Why do you say learning is door opening?
I guess, there's so many paths you can take in your personal life, in your business life. And I think in a lot of cases, I don't even know if you know what the doors are unless you've done some basic learning.
Yeah.
So, when you come to a conference like this and I learn about different tools, I learn about the presentation they just had on gaming and how gaming can change the way that we can deliver training and content in a more engaging and a more effective way. I think that is, going back to my daily life and trying to learn more about that. Maybe that opens doors to more relationships. Maybe it opens doors to, a project that I wasn't going to consider that, had any value for my organization or for myself. But having at least done that foundational learning, I think it opens up new paths or new doors, exploring different projects for the future.
So Diana, tell me what concepts about learning are resonating with you at this conference?
Oh, sure. I think the fact that training is critical for staff engagement and retention is definitely resonating with me. Mm-hmm. Interesting for my company, I run the IT department, so we compete for talent for IT in the New York market, which is very difficult.
Oh, wow.
We're not the biggest IT shop or the most exciting, so we need to make sure when we do get valuable employees that they want to stay with us. And staying with us is we need to invest in them and make sure that they feel like they're growing and learning, and that's how we keep talent. As far as the rest of my organization, we do a lot of education to arbitrators and mediators, how we make that interesting and engaging, and that can be a pretty saturated market. So learning about different ways to deliver content, I think, is also something that's resonating with me here, and how to, make the experience more exciting so that we stand out when we're advertising or training that we offer as a business.
Are there any particular ways or creative ways that you're using learning for retention?
I think I don't know if it would be as creative. I think we're doing a lot of best practice, around ensuring that training is appropriate to levels. So, we've done a lot of these online trainings, like with Harvard Business School.
Okay.
The MOOCs they were talking about for our executives and junior executives. So they feel it isn't just about, the typical stuff you might get in workplace training, like sexual harassment training,
Right.
or employment practices and things like that, which I think is necessary from a compliance perspective, but really not the most, really doesn't help them to feel as if they've grown in their skill base.
Mm-hmm. I'm curious how learning has played a role in your own career personally.
Oh, sure. So as I'm an industrial engineer by education, University of Michigan. But I very quickly got into doing computer programming and being an analyst and then a project manager, and I've been in that in technology my entire career, which by necessity, given the pace at which technology moves, you have to do a lot of self-education to stay relevant to, I think in my role as a chief information officer, to ensure that I have the respect of my reports and really the people who are now doing the work, that I can at least talk the talk and I understand things at a conceptual level, even if I'm not the ones with my hands on the keyboard anymore. So that requires a lot of going to conferences, doing a lot of online training. Most recently, I think where I've enjoyed learning is in cybersecurity. So that's just, top of mind, I think, for every CIO. And it's really important to stay very current. And it's sort of, it's in a weird way, it's exciting. You don't want you don't want the things to happen, the bad things to happen, but
like what's happening with Equifax.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you don't want
terrible.
that. But I think it's a very interesting. From a technology perspective, there are so many tools and so many layers, and I could spend the rest of my career, I think, just learning about all the defenses you can put in place to make sure that your company's data is protected.